With so many planets and landing zones planned for Star Citizen, the designers did not want it to be a monotonous experience visiting every planet. They wanted each individual area to have its own rhyme and reason to the atmosphere. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the concepted and existing landing zones in Star Citizen and explore the lore surrounding them. We will also see where they might land on the proposed in-lore timeline of city development. I'll be your host for this video, Space Tomato, and I'd like to thank you for coming to my Tomato Talk. This video is only going to look at several out of the dozens of landing zones planned for the game and will base its assumptions on the existent data available, which specifies when these cities and settlements were created. That being said, the order in which I present these cities will be based on their in-lore discovery years, which will then be compared to the apparent architectural style as seen on the guide presented at CitizenCon in 2019. A minor disclaimer, folks, the styles often don't line up with the times. This could be retconned in the future, or we could just assume these are the exceptions to the rule. Obviously, nothing is ever black and white with Star Citizen, so I'll cut them some slack on the timing. Our first era is that of utilitarian design, so let's go ahead and jump in on those cities. The first city we're going to look at is QUINTON, which is located on the planet of Angeli in the Croshaw system. This system was discovered in 2271 and quickly became a doorway to the stars for humanity, though it would be over 100 years before it was terraformed. At that point, it became the first planet ever terraformed by humanity outside of the Sol system. QUINTON features one of the UEE's most iconic skylines and is specifically constructed to withstand the consistent seismic activity on the planet. This city falls smack dab in the middle of the utilitarian age at the time that it was discovered. Located in the same system is Gelée City on planet Van. Double check me on that pronunciation. This planet is known for its beautiful auroras and cold weather, being located on the outer edge of the system's green band. It was also created during the utilitarian age. Finally, we have Fujin City, which is the main landing zone on Saisei, a planet with real estate that is highly sought after but often unaffordable. This planet is one of the cleanest in the Empire but features a massive amount of industrial export. It was surveyed in 2365, putting it towards the end of the utilitarian age. However, from the single concept image we have, the city looks quite postmodern if you ask me. Moving on to the age of colonialism, we have NKZ, which is a landing zone on the pirate flotilla of Spider in the Cathcart system. Nobody really knows who controls NKZ, but it is a very popular place for trading illegal goods such as drugs, slaves, and illicit weaponry, and is also home to any sort of illegal activity imaginable. Despite this, the culture is pretty pleasant while most people like to keep to themselves. Though the approach protocol is always changing, so make sure you give the right signals or risk being targeted by the station's defenses. The station and system itself are dangerous, though they are also filled with every type of inhabitant you could find, including various alien races. The Spider's age is unknown, however the Cathcart system was discovered in 2438 during the colonial age. I'd say this qualifies as colonial. Next we have ASURA. Once considered the crown jewel of the Farron system, ASURA was a hardcore mining planet as well as a political and economic powerhouse for 400 years before falling to criminality and a police strike in 2946. The Farron system was discovered in 2460, the age of colonialism. However, this city does have a bit of a modern utilitarian look to it. Odyssa is located in the Magnus system on the planet Borea. It was once a heavy industrial city until it was abandoned by the UEE. Recently, it has begun to be reinvigorated with the arrival of Drake Interplanetary. However, gangs are still a serious problem in the city, providing a myriad of chances to hunt for criminals and to hunt for questionably legal ship repairs and upgrades. As we move forward in time to the Streamline era, we come across the biggest discovery of the UEE's existence, Terra, and its primary landing zone, Prime, which is one of 3 landing zones located on the planet. Together with the other 2 landing zones, New, Austin, and Quasi, Prime makes up the bulk of developed space on the 12th planet inhabited by humans. It is considered to be the cultural center of the UEE and is a topic of great debate on whether it should be the new capital as well. The actual city of Prime is split into 2 regions, the high-class downtown district and the underprivileged residential area known as the Blocks. The city itself was founded in 2516 on the foundation of the 2 original colony ships which arrived at the time. This would place it in the late Streamline era, and while the Blocks do have some semblance of this style, I believe this city looks like it belongs in the high-tech or postmodern eras. However, Terra, more than any city, would be constantly updating throughout the years to keep up with the times. Cassel is a beautiful resort city located in the Goss system. Due to a lack of straightforward information, however, it's hard to pinpoint the exact time this system was discovered. But we can at least estimate the discovery of the system and thus the settlement of Cassel to be between 2509 and 2788. This would place the city's construction and development somewhere in the Streamline, Meta-Classic, Henoist, and high-tech eras. But let's be real, this city is super modernistic to the core. It's even featured in the guideline picture, so we will see if that is retconned or maybe they'll just make an exception. For the age of Meta-Classicism, we have the city of Sherman, nicknamed the Island in the Sky. It was a military city built on top of Ulysses Peak, high above the clouds of Castra II, located in the Castra system. Discovered during a period of tense Cold War with the Xi'an and a raging hot war with Tevarin, Sherman was quickly claimed to be a forward operating base for the UEE. While the well-known dictator Messer was not leading the UEE at the time, he was climbing the ranks at this time in the war with the Tevarin. Despite the original purpose of the city, as the war with the Tevarin ended and the Xi'an tensions faded, the city succumbed more to trade than anything else. Discovered in 2544 during the age of Meta-Classicism and right before the Henoistic era, you can see the strong military influence, considering it is a military base, which ruled the architecture of that time. For the age of Henoism, we have Armitage, which was planned to be the furthest colonized human planet in history when it was founded. It was a bustling and unnecessary colony that was able to make some profit off of the precious metals in the Orion System's asteroid belt. Metals that still have not been mined to depletion if you want to try your luck at some point. Unfortunately, in 2712, the Vanduul invaded the system, leading to the UEE abandoning the colonists and the system to never be fully settled again. Since then, the city has seen its fair share of adventurers, explorers, and collectors trying their luck at the next big find. And while the repair shop is abandoned, it is indeed functional. And you've also got a bar where you might be able to get some criminal info from. But there are no other widely known reasons to visit the planet. This place was settled in the mid-2600s, so it would be expected to reflect the Henoistic age, but due to the overall rundown nature of the city, I honestly can't even tell you where it would classify one way or the other. In terms of planet and system discovery, the high-tech era was fairly unremarkable, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip over that for now. As for the age of supermodernism, we've got Haven, which began as just a system of tunnels linked together beneath the surface of Tyrol 5. As the planet's surface is uninhabitable, humans wouldn't last more than a few moments on the surface. It is a haven, pun intended, for criminality and those looking for one last chance. Everybody who lives here has accepted their fate, as the binary star system of Tyrol is due to go nova soon. Haven has a distinct colonial feel to it, though the system itself was discovered in 2823. It is definitely an exception to the super modern rule. One of the cities currently available in the game is also one of the newest cities in lore. That is Area 18. The planet was discovered along with the others in the Stanton system in 2851 and was quickly claimed by the UEE. Less than 15 years later, it was sold off to ARCorp, who quickly partitioned the planet into various companies, filling the landscape with urban sprawl. While Stanton's timeline does not make much sense in the grand scheme of things, this is where the landing zone stands. And from being told by the developers and trusting our own eyeballs, as well as other slides on the guide shown at CitizenCon, the architectural style of Area 18 is definitely utilitarian, placing in-lore construction time between the 2100s and 2400s, so there is definitely some discrepancy between the style guide and the timeline. Another city available to us already in the Stanton system is New Babbage, which is just going to be released in the beginning of 2020. It is an icy metropolis which acts as a headquarters to the Microtech company, owners of the planet and makers of the Mobiglass. The planet was settled upon at about the same time as ARCorp in the late 2800s, placing it in the supermodernism age. However, it has been explicitly stated throughout various reveals and presentations that the city uses the high-tech palette. It'll have to take some hand-wavium, I guess. And that just about wraps it up for the cities I wanted to take a look at in this video. Maybe I'll do a little follow-up video several years down the line to see how some of these cities and landing zones compared to the guidelines set out in 2019. It seems the architectural guide may be a new creation that may lead to some of these cities changing drastically in appearance, or it may end up being edited further in the future. As with everything Star Citizen related, only time will tell. Hope you enjoyed this lore video, and I would appreciate if you spread the word and shared with other citizens out there. Of course, you can join my Discord server to discuss the game, play the game, and share photography and other creative pieces with the Garden community. I appreciate you taking the time to tune into this video. You're all very awesome. I am Space Tomato, and I'll see you in the next one.